Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. And right now, I am so pleased to be joined by the best NFL insider catcher working in The Athletic. You should listen to Scoop City as well. This is Dianna Russini. Dianna, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining us again.
Hi, guys. Good to be here. I hope you guys all had a good Thanksgiving. I can't believe we're here. It's December, baby.
I know.
It is December. And she's going to be on the Netflix Christmas game, so we'll talk about that. Look forward to that. First, though, I'm going to ask a selfish question, Dianna. I'm an LSU fan. Lane Kiffin, how about it? Here it comes down to Baton Rouge. But we were talking a little bit about this off air, and I want to know this, because he's going to leave me in tears one day, right? He's gonna chew me up and spit me out. And I'm okay with that if I have fun along the way. But I feel like where he may leave for could be the NFL. So do you have any insight into kind of the NFL perspective on Lane and this whole drama?
Yeah, it's kind of like the old saying, like you never marry the person you're having an affair with, right? Because they're just gonna the cheating's just gonna happen again, right?
Yeah.
Like you're doomed. Like Lane's gonna leave you at some point here. But let's not get there. Let's have fun and enjoy the ride, and I hope you do. Shout out Ole Miss student athletes who I can't imagine what that's like, right?
No.
Like you need him to win the playoffs. Like
Yeah.
you need him to have success, and he's not there. And I feel for those kids. Look, I got to tell you, obviously in the college world, it was the story. It was the story in sports, and just, texting with a bunch of people around football the last few days about it. Look, I think a lot of people understand the money grab of it all, right? Who's turning down that much money in real life? When you take away the emotion of all this, if any of us here on this show were offered $5-6 million more than what we're currently getting paid, we're probably going to take it, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Now,
I think
would say,
about it,
I will say that word on the street is that Ole Miss was matching or at least very comparable. But yes, I would absolutely.
I love that the only person who probably has that opportunity on the show is Dan. So
Well, and also I'm already rich. I'm already rich, so I'm good. I can actually enjoy what I have. Yeah.
See, you've hit the beauty of life. Where you're not chasing like the rest of us who are just trying to get by. Look, I think a lot of people know that the ultimate position in the coaching world is to be in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Like everyone gets caught up in this. I'm like, why would they leave? They love their school. They love the No. Every coach in college wants to coach in the NFL. Yeah. That's the pinnacle. And I think when you look at it through that prism and you just kind of have that reality and that real conversation with yourself, I think you understand it more. So I'm with you. I think it's just a matter of time before he steps back in.
Well, does he have juice? Like, do they view him as a potential NFL coach?
Yeah, I think so. I think people see that he's got talent. He knows how to win. And look around the league right now. And I know we're going to get into a lot of the teams that are hot. The ones that are building these programs that have such a clear identity of what they are the teams that are taking off, especially this time of year. The ones that aren't too sure of what they are. And I think Lane does an exceptional job of knowing what they are. And I think that could transfer. Obviously, that's just not going to be right now. Although, what a story that would be.
You sound so nervous now, too.
Yeah.
January breaking news. Titans head coach. No, I'm just kidding.
What if Lane Kiffin was just watching this show and was like, I never even thought of the NFL. I forgot that I was the Raiders coach 20 years ago.
So funny if he went for the NFL in January.
It's funny. A couple weeks ago, I was trying to DM Lane Johnson about something. It was like a charity thing that I wanted to ask him. And I was rushing and I accidentally DM'd Lane. And I was like, no, I did not want to DM him.
Yeah.
And so I just was like completely straight. I was like, sorry, this is the wrong lane in my life. Good luck. Whatever you decide later down the road. Goodbye.
Can we get a graphic made? Dianna Russini DMs Lane Kiffin. There's no slides in the Lane.
Oh my God, that is the last thing I want.
Dianna, I got a question for you. So you were at the game on Black Friday, the Eagles-Bears. Bears look really, really good. Ben Johnson, the culture that he's built in Chicago is incredible. But on the Eagles side, have Eagles fans apologized to you for you being right all along, where you were probably one of the first people who this season said, hey, even though they're winning, things are not feeling right in this locker room and there's some, things that are going on behind the scenes. It looks like you were exactly right, and it's all coming out right now where it's like, hey, look, this offense is just not good.
Yeah, well, you're talking about a fan base that would probably digest that really well, right? Like, I got the. It's funny. I went to the tailgate because it was quite a scene, and I went to just hang out with some family and friends down there before I had to go in and cover the game. And I could not keep count of how many people booed me in my face, and I don't mean like a boo like that. Like it was like the double, like thumb down in my face to a point where like it became so funny. Like I'm like, guys, I'm sorry, but every Eagles fan kind of gives you the same look, which is like, I hate you because you're representing the message that I don't want to hear, even though I know. Because Eagles fans are so smart. I can't believe I just said that about Max in a way, but like they are. They know football well, and they know their team well. And what they're seeing, which is why, like, the feeling even in the stadium was so tense and almost like on edge every single play. And that's always the sign that you don't believe in your team. Like there was a point where I just thought everyone was booing them in hopes it would annoy the guys so much that they'd snap back into form of what we saw in the playoffs last year. So look, I was in the locker room after the game, right? So I'll start on the Eagles side of it. And they just seem like a team that doesn't have any answers. And there's no blame right now because they've done that, right? They've tried everything. They've blamed Sirianni. They blamed Patullo. They blamed Jalen. They blamed AJ. They blamed Saquon. They blamed the offensive line. And I think the reality or the truth of it is it's a little bit of everybody. And I think that's what they're realizing. So they're back in the building today and they've had a few days off. So I'm curious to see if they're going to be able to just have that real kind of moment as a group, like we could actually do this and turn it around right now. I'm just not sure if they have the answer though.
Yeah.
Dianna, I'm a Steelers fan, unfortunately right now. They haven't won a playoff game in 7-8 years. The whole thing about the Steelers is they don't fire coaches and they don't have a losing record. Is their pride their biggest weakness?
I think that's a fair point to make, but you could also flip it as they're an organization that believes in loyalty and they're patient, and sometimes that's good because we've seen it numerous times in the league where you're so quick to just fire, and it doesn't do anything. Look at the Giants right now.
Yeah.
Right? They're actually an example of probably being a little too patient in this last year, right? Like we all knew what was happening at the end of last year. We knew that even ownership was a little hesitant to even wanting to bring back Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen, and here they are. I just think they have a strong culture there in Pittsburgh, and it's hard to walk away from that because the teams that don't have that are the ones that really can never get on the right foot. The Steelers always give you the belief that they're going to be good every year. And I give them a check for that, right? Because that's better than a lot of teams where you're just like, I don't know what this is. You know what the Steelers are. I just think it's okay to say at some point here, change may be good.
Yeah.
You know, I don't predict them, and I don't have any knowledge at this moment that ownership is having conversation about firing Mike Tomlin. But I think there's a world where maybe Mike Tomlin looks at the situation himself and is like, you know what, maybe I could use a new environment, you know, but we'll see. We also have this conversation this time every year.
Right,
like I've had this a million times. So every time I think this is going to be the year, Mike's going to be like, you know what? I'm going to go to New York, or I want to go to Cal. I want to do something different. He stays.
Yeah, and he would have a job before he left the facility.
Yeah. What about Lane Kiffin?
Oh
Okay,
my
so
God,
here-
Lane Kiffin as the Steelers.
Lane Kiffin to the Steelers. Here's the thing about the whole have a job in a minute, right? Like how many times have we heard that with so many coaches?
Right.
You know, even 2 years ago, it was Tennessee fired Mike Vrabel, and everyone's like, oh, he's going to get a job in 2 seconds. He was like a coach of every position in Cleveland as a consultant after that, right? And then it's sort of that time away was good, and it built up, I think, a lot of time for him to recover from whatever happened in Tennessee. And now you have Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel, the two hottest names in this offseason, and both of them are leading their teams at the top of their divisions.
Yeah. To flip away from the collapsed teams, I mean, the NFC, it looked like that last spot was between 3 teams. And then this Panthers-Cowboys team comes out of nowhere. Which team do you like more out of those two?
Out of the Panthers and the Cowboys?
Yeah.
It's so funny that you are using them as an example because they're my comp for one another. They remind me of each other because they're both teams that can beat the really good teams, like we just saw the Panthers do, with the Rams and Dallas with the Chiefs. Yet they can lose to really bad teams, as the Panthers did to the Saints. Like, I think they just need to sort of find a way to be steady the way the Chicago Bears have been. I can't believe I'm saying that, but they're the best example of finding ways to win every game, no matter who it's against. And, for obviously Chicago to walk into the link on when everyone in the world is watching that game and to absolutely beat them up through the run game, that tells you that they know what they are and they find ways to win. I don't think the Panthers and the Cowboys have hit that moment yet. They just have moments of good play. And obviously Dak Prescott on the Dallas side is just tremendous this season. Perhaps maybe a top candidate for MVP conversation right now.
Oh, you did it. You did it. Love it. Put it on the board. I gave him the award on Monday's part of my take. He has won the award for being in the conversation for MVP award.
But never won it.
And he's not gonna win it. But the hot thing that's gonna be said in the next 3 weeks on every show is, you know who should be in the conversation? Dak Prescott.
It's kind
but
of
he should though.
not actually.
Who are you? Do you think Caleb should be?
But you wouldn't vote for him. You just want to give him a little. Just say, yeah, this guy's not going to win, but he's having a really good year.
That's a nice
Dak
compliment,
Prescott.
though.
Yeah.
I would love to get that compliment.
Yeah.
I have a vote. So
I know, but you're not going to vote for him. So you.
How do you know that?
Oh, are you going to vote for him?
I'm not going to vote for him.
No, you're not going to vote for him. But everyone is going to. I mean, he's having a great year, so he deserves to win that award of being in the conversation for MVP.
Yeah. Look, I give them credit. This is a team that I thought their defense was going to be the reason why they stunk. And Jerry Jones was adamant they were going to fix it. He believed in Eberflus, which I know is pain to your ears, but he did. And the fact that they've transformed themselves and, obviously make those trades and now they're in it and we're talking about them and they wowed us on Thanksgiving. So, I think the momentum's on their side though.
The Eberflus thing doesn't I had this yesterday. We're doing an idol contest trying to hire a Chiefs fan, and he brought up Matt Nagy, and I have to say this is when you know that your life has changed and Ben Johnson is the one, and you could go and run off to an island with him. Is that when people mention Eberflus and Nagy, it doesn't even register in my brain. I'm like, who's that?
happy.
Oh yeah, I did date them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens when you meet the one, right?
Yeah.
You forget all the losers in your life. Like all the exes are just like, wait, when did I? Oh yeah, I forgot I dated that guy. It's the same thing. It's like when it's good, it's great.
Yeah, I'll check
My
in once
question
in a
for
while,
Ben
I'll click the
Johnson
page.
Did
Just
you
make
guys
sure you don't like.
Yeah.
in the post game locker room celebration of Ben with the whole shirt thing, and maybe this is just because I'm Italian and all the men in my life are hairy gorillas. He had no body hair. Did you notice that?
I think that's probably a competitive advantage. Less to grab onto.
Yeah.
You think he gets waxed?
I don't know. What if he
got
gets a little tough? He gets a little back and forth with Big Dom. He's got to have nothing to hold on to. So I think Ben Johnson's in that category now, where it's everything he does has a purpose and everything he does is calculated. So if he tells me he shaves his body hair to give a 1% edge to the Chicago Bears, and be like, yeah, I'll shave it too.
I got waxed recently, Diana, and it went terribly.
Wait, what'd you wax?
My back and my nipples. Oh. And it I just have red dots everywhere.
Oh.
Still?
Still. I'm very self-conscious in the locker room now. It's I don't know how y'all do it. I don't think I'm gonna get waxed again. Also, my nipples look ridiculous.
Yeah,
it looks like a nuclear bomb went off.
I don't wax my nipples, so I can't relate. But yeah, women definitely participate in waxing of areas, and as I mentioned,
How do you stop the red bumps? I've been lotioning. I've been trying everything. I use antibacterial soap. I don't know.
Alcohol.
Yeah, just keep the moisture. I think
Yeah.
that's the key. You got to, and also you have to use those scrubs in the shower. Just find someone in your life that has one of those.
Okay.
I'm sure you don't
He's sitting down to pee too. So this is just
This is a slippery.
It's comfortable.
Just keep going.
It's comfortable. All right, Jay, what do you got, Jay? It's comfortable.
Diana, nice to see you this morning. Hair looking great. Wanted to ask you.
Che, it's so funny. I just said to one of my producers that you're my favorite person on this morning show because he's like, "Hey, Steve's on today." I'm like, "He's always on. He's the brains of this operation."
That's true. That's true. You
So thank
truth,
you.
as always. as many good teams as there are in the league, there are as many bad teams. Hot coordinator names are starting to emerge. Who do you like for the next coaching cycle? Because, there are some bad teams too.
Yeah, so the name that isn't getting any attention, I think that I believe will probably pick up some steam here is Robert Saleh, right? Like what he's doing with this 49ers defense with nobody. Think about how many injuries they have and they're winning. And by the way, we'll talk coach of the year, I'm sure, but like Kyle Shanahan is up there for me as somebody that could do because of what they're doing in San Francisco. But Saleh is a huge reason why they're able to do this. And I know he wants to coach again as a head coach. And look, the Jets situation was what it was. I think there's a lot of factors there why he didn't have success, but I also think he learned a lot. So I could see him getting some opportunities, definitely some interviews. But Matt Nagy, I know we've brought him up before, Dan, like, he's a name that makes sense with Borgonzi in Tennessee. And look, the Chiefs are on life support, but when you actually take a look at the nerdy numbers on offense, they're really good. They're doing a good job. It's their defense that's been the problem. They don't have a pass rush. Their run game hasn't been fantastic. But Patrick's been awesome. And Matt Nagy has a lot to do with that. And whenever Matt Nagy's been there, they've had success. So I could see him getting back in the mix. And I can tell you he's in the mix for these jobs. The Giants job, guys, is the one. I actually had somebody yesterday in the NFL say to me, I'm not so concerned about who's going to be the head coach. The OC of New York, to me, is going to be, I think, the key there. Because I don't envision the Giants going after the hot OC for that job because they understand that team needs identity. They lost. They did the hot OC, right? Brian Dable was it. That didn't work. So they're going to need to bring in someone. Although, how funny would that be if they bring in Robert Saleh? Like he's back.
That would be perfect.
Like that's not going to happen. But you never know.
Dianna, you're the absolute best. I know it's a very, very busy time of year. Everybody should listen to Scoop City every single week. It's great. And again, it's going to only get busier for you as you'll be the sideline reporter on Christmas Day for Netflix. Congratulations. That's awesome. And thank you for waking up with us.
Thank you. My family hates me, but I'm excited about it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. All right, Dianna, thank you. You're the best.